Hello everyone and welcome to my true crime channel. I hope you're all well and having a good day. So it would seem that Don and Candus are up to their old tricks again, playing hoaxes on people on YouTube, playing pranks, pretending that Candus is going to go on a live video on Ziggy's channel, pulling out at the last minute, which I found highly suspicious. So Ziggy on YouTube has had DonWells on over the last couple of live videos that she's done. They're extremely long videos, but if you have the chance to listen to them, you really should, because a lot has come out from them. Now, on the last live that Ziggy did, Candus and Don called up, and unbelievably, we could hear Candus. She was saying she wanted to be on the show. When she asked who was going to be on the show, there was a bit of talk between her and Don. Sounded like Don was trying to put her off being on the show. At the start of the phone call, Don seemed quite keen for Candus to go on this live video. Once the two of them knew who was going to be on the live video, the other women on the panel, suddenly Candus didn't seem so sure, and they never linked up to Ziggy's live, and Candus didn't appear. Weirdly, Don then does appear by himself and speaks for about 2 hours. A lot has come out from that I'm doing other videos on, but today I want to discuss: was this a hoax? Did Candus ever actually intend on going on this live video with Ziggy? Or was it all, as I suspect, yet another hoax? It's really hard to tell with Don and Candus, especially Candus, because we've not heard the woman speak for so very long. They play tricks on people. They're known for making prank phone calls, pretending people have been arrested when they haven't really. They've both done so many odd things over the past 4 months, I wouldn't put anything past either of them. But it did sound to me like Candus wanted to appear on this live video, but the minute Candus knew that Denise, Dusty, and especially Jenna was on the panel, she didn't seem so keen. She then alluded she'd appear just with Jenna, but they never actually came on the video. So I'm going to read for you now, guys, a bit of a transcript that I've taken of the conversation that goes on with Candus. It's quite difficult because the other women on the panel are chiming in. Ziggy's trying to ask Candus and Don questions. Don is talking over Candus. Candus then talks over Don. It made it quite difficult to know who was saying what, but I took some notes, and this is what I think that I heard. Ziggy says that there's a phone call coming in. At first, the people on the panel seem to think it's Prayer Gardens that's calling in. It isn't, it's Don. Don says to Ziggy, Candus wants to go on your live. Ziggy says, oh, does she? Okay. Ziggy then also says, does she want to go on right now? Don says, yeah. Ziggy then says, all right, I'll send a link. Ziggy follows up with, do you know who's up there right now, on the live right now? Ziggy also says, do you want to go on right now, or do you want to wait until some people come down? Candus can then clearly be heard asking Ziggy, who's on the live right now? Ziggy says, well, Jenna's up, but she's not talking, and it's Dusty and Denise. Now, after Ziggy tells Candus and Don who's on her panel, who's on the live show that night, you can hear Candus quite clearly in the background saying Prayer Gardens. One of the women on the panel then starts kicking off, so this makes it even harder to hear what's being said, but you definitely hear Candus saying Prayer Gardens. One of the women on the panel is claiming not to be Prayer Garden and saying that Prayer Garden's not there. All gets a bit confusing, especially if you've not been watching these lives. But Candus then says something about Jenna tried, but you can't hear what else she says. Ziggy then says, do you want it to just be Jenna and yourself? Candus says, yeah. Then here, it's really interesting, muffled voice of Don. I think, but don't quote me, that Don says, don't beat yourself up. I'm presuming to go on to this live if Candus doesn't want to. But again, guys, there's so much talking over each other going on here. It's quite difficult, but I do believe you hear Don say, don't beat yourself up. Ziggy then says, I'll send you guys the link. And yeah, are you okay if Denise and Dusty are up there but quiet? Candus then says, I just want to know why Jenna lied so much that she lost. And then she says something else but seems to be cut off, or you can't hear her. So just to repeat that, Candus says at the end, I just want to know why Jenna lied so much that she lost. Unfortunately, all we heard was the last word of lost. We don't hear what Candus followed that up with, which might have been quite interesting. Now, if you haven't already heard this, guys, it was on Ziggy's channel. It was the last live that she did. This part of the live where Candus and Don called in is at the 1:02 timestamp, around about there. That's where you need to go to if you don't want to listen to it in its entirety. I do recommend that you go and listen to this part if you didn't listen to it, because to hear Candus is extremely interesting, considering we've not heard from her for so very long. So this live video really was an eye-opener. The one before it was an eye-opener, but this one, wow, especially with Candus coming on, making us all think she was going to appear and then didn't. Was it a hoax? I'm not sure, but I wouldn't put it past Don and Candus. Apparently they were both drunk. Don admitted that he was a bit pissed and that they'd both been drinking. What I'm wondering is, did Candus get a bit of the good old Dutch courage from this whiskey she apparently was drinking, according to Don, and suddenly Candus wants to appear on a live on YouTube when she hasn't wanted to ever? Not so sure. I'm wondering if they were playing a prank on Ziggy and on Ziggy's channel, but maybe not, because Don then did appear for 2 hours talking to Ziggy. But what was interesting about that is Don claimed Candus was asleep. So did Don have this long conversation with Ziggy because Candus was asleep? And if Candus had been awake, would Don have stayed on the phone for so long to Ziggy, doing this live video for about 2 hours? I do wonder what goes on with Don and Candus. Their relationship is so bizarre. One minute I think Don's the boss, then I start to wonder, is Candus the boss of Don? They are quite a confusing pair. All I hope is that their daughter is found safe, and it happens very soon. So guys, have you been watching these lives on Ziggy's channel? Did you hear Candus saying she was going to be on, then never appeared? Did you hear Don's 2-hour conversation with Ziggy, especially the part where he loses the plot? He's effing and blinded. He's screaming and he's shouting to the so-called abductor of his daughter, the most passionate I've ever heard Don speak in the 4 months that I've known of the man because of his missing daughter. I found it really bizarre, and I do wonder, was it the drink talking, or is it that Don is on the edge and he is actually losing the plot? So as always, guys, I want to know your thoughts and views. Pop your comments below. Let me know if you heard this. If you didn't, as I said, it's around the 1:02 timestamp if you want to hear Candus. I really do recommend you listen to these lives on Ziggy's channel. She's doing a fantastic job of talking to Don. A lot came out, and certain things we didn't know and we've never heard about before. So anyway, guys, I look forward to reading your thoughts and views on this. Please share your thoughts with me. I do love reading your comments. You always make me laugh with your views. And in cases like this, where there's a missing child and it's very upsetting, it's not a bad thing to have some humour. Let's face it, Don often brings us humour, sitting on toilets, potentially going to the toilet, potentially doing drugs. No one's ever really been sure on that one, but whatever, the pair of them are quite the comedy duo. I know they shouldn't be, but we do need to find some humour in these dark cases that we're looking at. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you're all well. I hope you're all having a fantastic day wherever you are in this great big world of ours. And as usual, I'm going to be back with you all very soon for another true crime video. Bye for now.